everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Beth. I want to start off by saying welcome. I want to start off by saying welcome to all of my new subscribers. My channel is still pretty new, but a lot of you guys have come on board recently, so I just want to say welcome to my channel. I'm not the coolest Brady in the bunch per se, or haven't been my whole life, but I think I'm pretty awesome and I like to have fun and be myself, so welcome to my channel where all of that happens. So today's video, as I'm sure you can tell from the title, is about hair typing. Now, a lot of times when we think about hair typing, we think about our pattern, our curl pattern. And there's like a chart out there, I don't even know what it's called, but it kind of categorizes hair as far as hair texture or hair pattern. So there's a lot more to hair typing than just your hair curl pattern or hair texture, however you want to put it. So I want to kind of just go deeper into different categories within hair typing that I've recently discovered and learned about. And when I really looked at it, it allowed me to make decisions for my hair that have completely transformed my hair. My hair is completely different hair than it has ever been in my entire life, and it's all thanks to just the knowledge of having the knowledge of knowing how to choose products, what to choose, and what's best for my hair. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. I thought it would be cool. So let's just get right into it. So the first category I'm going to be talking about is hair texture or pattern, since that's like the most well-known one. So I don't know, like I said, what the chart is called, but I'll insert some clips of it. And I want you guys to see there are 4 different hair types, but most charts may just include 2 through 4, since type 1 is straight hair, and so straight hair does not break down any further, it's just straight hair. And then you have type 2, which is wavy hair, and then type 3 is curly hair, and type 4 is kinky hair. So the first thing that you do is kind of figure out which of those 4 categories that you fall into. And then once you figure that out, then you go further and say, okay, am I, 2A, 2B, 2C, or am I like 4C, or am I 4A, or whatever. So it will include pictures or diagrams of that hair type, so you can kind of easily tell, okay, my hair looks more like this one than this one. So that's all based on what your hair looks like, on the appearance of your hair, the pattern of your hair. But there's so much more to hair typing. And let's just take type 1 for instance. Type 1 doesn't break down into anything else. It's strictly just straight hair. But you can have Caucasians with straight hair, Latinos with straight hair. You can also have Asians with straight hair. You can have African Americans with relaxed hair. There's all types of straight hair out there, and not all of them are the same. So we can't just choose all of the products that we use based off of our hair pattern alone. So we need to find out some other things about our hair. So the second category that I want to talk about is hair thickness. And thickness or width. And this is talking about like a single strand of hair. How thick is a single strand of your hair? A single strand of your hair, if I pull a single strand out, you guys can't even see, you might be able to see, but a single strand of your hair, if you pull it out, how thick is that strand of hair? Is it fine, is it medium, or is it coarse? So that's how thickness or width is measured, is by fine, medium, or coarse. So the easiest way to figure that out is to pick up a piece of your hair. I wouldn't recommend pulling it out your head, even though that's totally what I did when I did this. But it's more recommended to find a piece of your hair that is already like somewhere, like I'm just going to pull this one out here. So you take a piece of your hair. And you're going to hold it up to the light. You guys are probably not going to be able to see what I'm doing. Oh, you can kind of see. So you're going to hold it up to the light. And if it's very difficult for you to see the strand of hair, then it's considered fine. And if it's easy to see, you can pretty much see it, then it's considered medium. And if you're like, bam, that piece of hair is right there, I can see it, it's easy to see, then it's considered coarse hair. Now, I don't really consider this method of testing that 100% fail proof, just because it has a lot to do with your hair color and all that too. But when you're thinking about the thickness of your hair, I mean, it's not that hard to tell at the same time. So you can kind of easily tell which category you fall into just based off of you know, knowing fine, medium, coarse, I mean, you can kind of tell. I would definitely consider my hair coarse, and if anything, medium to coarse. Definitely not fine. I have thick strands. I got thick strands. So that's going to be something to think about when you're choosing products as well. How much can your hair take? If you have super fine hair, you don't want to pile a bunch of thick oils and things like that onto your hair, because it's going to easily just stick it together, stick it to your head, and you do not want that. So definitely think about the thickness of your hair when you're thinking of products. If you're going to put an oil in your hair and you have fine hair, you want to choose a very, very lightweight oil, whereas coarser hair textures may be able to take a thicker consistency oil. So keep that in mind when choosing your products as well. So the next category we're going to be talking about, which is category number 3, is going to be density. And density can sometimes easily be mixed up with thickness. But like I said, thickness is based on an individual strand of hair, and density is based on all of the hair in your head. Density is measured by low, medium, or high density. So if you have low density hair, that means that the amount of hairs is basically the amount of hairs that are on like a square inch of your scalp. It's like measured that way, right? Of course, we're not going to go measure the amount of hairs on our scalp like on a square inch. Who has time for that? Not me. I don't have time for that. So there's easier ways to find out what your hair density is. So we can do this one right now. We don't need any special tools or anything. So look at your hair. Dry hair. You want your hair to be dry when you do this, and you want it to be down. Okay? If it's up in a ponytail or anything like that, it's not going to be that effective for you to do this. If you put your head down like this, if you can see your scalp, like for instance, if I was able to just see my scalp easily through all these strands of hair, then my hair will be considered low density. And I know you'll see some people that you'll be able to see their scalp when their hair is just down. It's kind of, you can see through the strands and see their scalp. That would be considered low density hair. And then a medium density is that you may be able to see the scalp, but not so much. It's kind of just like normal, you know, medium density. And high density is like, woo, like you don't see anything. I mean, it's all hair. So obviously my hair is going to be considered high density hair. Another way that I like to do is look at my my parts. My hair is very tightly packed together to each other as I can look at it in my scalp. Hair, say that's more like this, how it is in my baby hair, where you can see more spaces. If your hair looks like that all over your head, then you know that your hair is on the lower density side, the medium to low side. So take that into consideration, and when you think about the density of your hair, how much hair is on your head, then you want to think about a lot of things. Not only the types of product that you use, but how much product are you using. So if you have low density hair, that basically means that you don't have that much hair on your head, so you don't need to use that much product. If I take like, you know, a big old golf ball size product and I have low density hair, my hair is going to end up sticking to my scalp. I'm going to end up looking like I'm going to look like my hair is very weighed down. And like we talked about before, as far as fineness, if your hair is fine and it's low density, then you want to be very, very, very careful about the type of product that you leave in your hair. Any type of thing that you're going to be leaving in. If you have medium to high density hair, you can get away with putting more product into your hair because you have more hair to work with. Simply the case. So definitely think about that when styling your hair, for sure. One thing that I used to do with my hair is I would decide that I didn't need to put that much product in my hair. I don't know why I felt that way. I had my own methods of doing my hair, which initially it looked great, but it wasn't the healthiest for my hair. And that was kind of like the hair routine that I kind of did in my straight to curly hair routine. I don't do what I was doing anymore, and I'll explain that why going on a little bit later. Okay, you guys, so the fourth and, in my opinion, the most important hair type category that I'm going to talk about today is porosity. Porosity. Porosity is basically your hair's ability to absorb and take in moisture. So basically you have an outer layer of your hair, of each strand of hair has an outer layer, and it's called the cuticle. And the cuticle has these layers that overlap each other like this, almost like shingles on a roof. So they're all overlapping each other all down the hair shaft. And basically how open or closed these are determines your hair's porosity, and it also determines how oils and creams and the products you put on your hair, how it moves in and out of your hair. So it has a lot to do with your hair's ability to maintain moisture and things like that. Hair porosity is mostly chalked down to genetics, but chemical processing and straightening and bleaching and of course all these other things, relaxers, perms, all these types of things can change your hair's porosity as well. And it's also possible for you to have different hair porosities on different parts of your head. If you have a problem in one area of your head more than the other, then you can kind of treat your hair based on the porosity level of that hair. If you want to section your head off and treat all your head different, then you can, but that's not what I do, which I'm sure I have different porosity levels on my head, but I just stick with what works for me. So there are a couple ways to tell what your hair porosity is. There's an easier way and there's a harder way, in my opinion. So the harder way, in my opinion, is to take a strand of your hair, and you guys might actually think this is easier, but I just feel like it's so like, what? Like, I don't understand it. Anyway, take your two fingers and feel your hair strand and feel it going down, and you feel it going back up. If it feels smooth on the way up and the way down, then it's going to be considered low porosity. If you feel like small ridges on the hair on the way up, then it's considered to be high porosity. And if it just feels normal, I guess, then it's normal. That's why I think that it's more difficult, because I just don't understand how do you know if you have just like normal hair, normal porosity? Because porosity is measured in low, normal, or high. So I feel like that doesn't really give you the best indication, okay, of what your hair porosity is. So the way that I think it's easier to find out what your hair porosity is by taking a glass of water. You want to get something that you can see through, so a clear glass of water, and you want it to be room temperature. So you set down that glass of water, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take a clean strand of your hair. What I did when I did this was I just took a ball of hair out the shower, I rinsed it off really, really good so it felt pretty squeaky clean, and I pulled a piece of hair out of it, and then I dropped it into that water. You don't want to push it into the water or anything, you just want to drop it lightly right on top. If the hair, if your strand of hair sits right on top of the water or barely sinks, maybe just a tad bit, but if it just sits right on top of the water, then that means that your hair is low porosity. If the hair falls somewhere in the middle and just kind of like floats in the middle of the glass of water, then it's considered to be normal porosity. And if the hair just sinks all the way down to the bottom, then it's considered to be high porosity. And you want to let it sit there for maybe about 5 minutes. No longer than that. It doesn't take any longer than 3 to 5 minutes, I would say. And that's how you can tell what your hair porosity is. So for me, when I did this, my hair completely just stayed on the top. It just chilled out. It was like whatever. And that's how I found out my porosity. So let me tell you guys why this is so revolutionary. Let's break down these levels of porosity a little bit further, okay? So if you have low porosity hair, then your cuticles are tightly closed, okay? Now, this is considered healthy hair or healthy looking hair, mostly because it looks very, very shiny when it's dark. I don't know if you've seen people whose hair is black and it just looks very, very shiny and healthy. Even if it might not be healthy, it just looks healthier when it's black and it looks very shiny. That could be because they have low porosity hair. This hair type repels moisture. It is a moisture repellent. Because the cuticles are closed, as I stated, it's very, very hard for moisture to get in to the hair, to the inner layers of the hair where you really need it at. So this hair type can tend to be dry and brittle sometimes if it doesn't get the type of moisture that it needs. It's also prone to buildup of protein because if you use heat to infuse protein into your hair, you don't want to overuse protein in your hair if you have low porosity hair because it can easily get built up because it's getting locked in those layers. And so you don't need to use protein treatments or anything like that often because your hair is already locking it in there. So you're good. And low porosity hair also requires rich and deep moisturization. So this includes like steaming, sitting under a steamer with a deep conditioner in your hair, doing deep conditioner treatments in your hair very regularly and things like that. So if you have low porosity hair, you want to focus on maintaining deep moisture in your hair because it's very, very hard for you to get moisture into your hair because your cuticles are so tight. And a way that you can do that is by using heat, which is why the steamer is so great for this hair type because heat opens up the cuticle. And so for low porosity hair, if you can get heat to open up the cuticle and then it will shut back once the hair cools down, then you have locked in that moisture, which is really what you want. So that's the best thing for deep moisturizing. You always want to deeply moisturize with heat if you have low porosity hair because that's the only way that you're going to get the moisture in there, right? The next hair type that we're going to talk about is going to be normal. And normal is just considered to be low maintenance. It's pretty easy. It can tend to get damaged more easily than, say, low porosity hair because the cuticle is already partially open. So when chemicals come into the hair, it's easier for them to get deeply penetrated into the hair and cause damage, which can actually cause a normal porosity person hair to become high porosity. Okay, so that's just the basics of normal porosity hair. It doesn't take a lot of maintenance. It doesn't take any special products really. It's just basically take care of your hair. Okay, so going on to high porosity hair. High porosity hair is usually the result of some type of damage to the hair, whether it's chemical processing or whatever it is. And high porosity hair is very prone to frizz and is very prone to damage and tangling. So for high porosity hair, the cuticles are wide open like this. So it's easier for moisture to get in and it's also easier for moisture to get out. So people with high porosity hair usually have the problem of, their hair's moisturized and then now it's not, and it's just very, very difficult for them to maintain moisture as well because it can just move in and out so easily because their cuticles are always wide open. The reason that it's also prone to frizz is because say someone with high porosity hair goes outside on a humid day. Well, their cuticles are wide open, so it's going to suck up that moisture and the hair just becomes frizzy and crazy like that. I have a couple of my sisters that I think might have high porosity hair. I remember we would go to Louisiana and take trips down there and their hair would just like swell. And I actually think that my hair might have some parts of my hair that might be more high porosity. I didn't test every area of my hair when I did this, but sometimes mine would get puffy in certain areas, but like some of theirs would just be like shoom. And you will see different people whose hair is kind of like the humidity really gets to their hair more than others. Whereas my hair, it might get to it a little bit, but it wouldn't be as much as some others. So that's the reason, is because the moisture is getting right in there and just, and so that's high porosity hair. Also, with normal porosity hair, something I forgot to mention is that since the cuticles are like medium, like this, so the moisture can get in, but also it's not going to escape as easily as if they were wide open as well. So that's kind of why it's normal. The cuticles kind of just lay like normal on top of each other. They're not completely closed, but they're also not like wide open either. So that's why it's considered normal. It's low maintenance and all that kind of stuff. So if you have high porosity hair, then you have to take some extra measures for your hair as well. And if it has more damage, it may need to be built back up. High porosity hair can have a lot of gaps in it, a lot of damage to the cuticle layer as well. So you just want to make sure that you're taking very good care of your hair. If you have high porosity hair, you really have to baby it, take a lot of good care of it. So And of course, this video is more for you to figure out what your hair type is and understand your hair type. And once you do that, you can do even more research to find out specifically for your hair type all the things that you can do. Another fifth category that I really wasn't going to include, but it's length. And length is kind of course, it can be different for everybody, for different hair types, and I didn't really think it was that important to include in this video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But what I am going to do is kind of go back over each category and talk about my experience, what I found out about my hair, and what helped my hair so much. As far as my hair pattern, I believe that I'm between 3B and 3C, so we're going to say 3BC. And my curls are like medium curls. They're not super big and they're not super small, so that's kind of where my hair falls with that. So the next one is going to be thickness. So when I did the test, my hair has, like I said earlier, it's medium to coarse, more on the coarse side. I have thick strands. Each strand of my hair is pretty thick in and of itself, each strand, so that's where I fall with that. And then as far as density goes, my hair is high density, because when you look at my hair when it's dry, you can't see my scalp through any parts of my hair, you just see my hair. So there you have it. And then as far as porosity, when I did this test, my hair stayed right on top of that water. It is low porosity, and once I found this out, this was the most life-changing part, if we want to be honest, the porosity. Because when I realized that my hair is low porosity, I realized all the things I was doing wrong. It's hard for you to get moisture into your hair. It's harder for me to get, let's just make it personal. It's harder for me to get moisture into my hair. And so what I would do, don't ask me why, but what I would do with my hair is after I got out the shower, I would let it completely air dry. Once my hair completely air dried, I would go ahead and go in with a thick cream product and put it all in my hair once my hair was already dry. So the problem with that is that once my hair is completely dry, it's completely finished its process of the cuticle. If it was even going to be a little open or anything, it's completely shut. Your hair is dry, your hair is sealed. And so once I put that thick product in my hair, I would just put it on my dry hair. Once my hair was already dry, it was already set. So any type of porosity that I was gonna get, any, a little bit that I was gonna have from my hair being wet with warm water or whatever like that, it's completely, that process is done. My cuticles are shut. So me putting this heavy cream on top of my hair, it looked great at first, but on the second day, my hair would just be dry and this and that, because the product that I put in my hair was just sitting on top of my hair. It wasn't soaking into my hair because my cuticles were already closed. So then I was like, okay, well, if my hair is so dry, I need to get some hydrating products, some products that are for hydrating and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But the problem is that I was just building up products on the outside of my hair. And when I tell you guys that the buildup situation was strong, I share with you guys in my straight to curly hair routine video that I really wasn't putting that much, I wasn't washing my hair with shampoo that much because my hair was dry. So I would just use all these hydrating products, and when I did use a shampoo, I would use like a mild shampoo. But that's the problem, is that when you have low porosity hair and those oils and creams are not soaking into your hair, they're just sitting right on top of your hair. Well, what happens? It's building up and it's building up and it's building up, and then on top of that, I was like, oh, well, my hair's so dry, I don't need to wash it. I'll just co-wash it or do this or that. And what I needed was a clarifying shampoo, because I needed to get that buildup off so that it would actually be easier for my hair to actually take the moisture instead of me just building it right on top. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So what I did was I had just bought a hydrating shampoo and something else. I was like, I'm not using this anymore. I took it back to the store. I don't know if you guys remember, I was using the Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie. And that stuff is like, I don't buy that anymore. And I know I told you guys that was my ride or die, like holy grail, like I ain't never stopping using this. Girl, where'd your English go? I said I will never stop using this product. But once I realized what my hair type was, my hair cannot take a product that was that thick, because it was just leaving a film on my hair. My hair wasn't able to absorb those big thick molecules that were in that cream. it needed something with smaller molecules. So I needed something that was thinner and lighter, something that my hair could absorb better. So let me talk to you guys about the products that I have been using since I've had this discovery with my hair and figuring out what my hair needs based on its porosity. And as I'm sure you guys can tell, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about it more, my hair it's different. It's different than it was before. It looks different. And don't worry, I'm going to update my curly hair routine and what I use in my hair, because yes, it is completely different. Everything is different about it, and I'm loving it. So you guys, when I filmed that video for you guys about my curly hair routine, I'm also going to include some tips about maintaining healthy hair and talk to you guys about the healthy hair challenge and healthy hair journey that I am on, and invite you guys to join me. When I did make this change and find out about my hair, I did realize that there were some things going on with my hair that needed to be set free, meaning like my ends, split ends just from not taking care of my hair, things like that. I actually cut off 3.5 inches off the back of my head, which you probably can't tell even from the first video that I posted, because the back of my hair, the curls in the back of my head used to hang a lot longer, and the back of my hair was a lot longer, and sometimes I would pin those pieces up, or sometimes they would look fine, sometimes I would try to like put them on a roller, but my hair just wasn't in the best state, and I did trim my hair all over, and that really did help make my curls pop a lot more. So I want to encourage you guys that if your hair is not where it needs to be right now, don't be afraid to take that step and trim the damage off and start fresh, because my hair, even though I cut it, so now it's the same length in the front as it is in the back. As you guys can see, it all comes to the same place, but it actually has already grown back. It's already grown back to pretty much where it was before, and I cut that maybe about 3 months ago. So I'm not too concerned. At first I was like, I don't want to do this, but I realized it's best for my hair, and I pretty much just had a tail in the back of my head that was longer than everything else, so I did end up cutting that off. Alright, so guys, the first thing that I picked up when I went to Target, I actually was, like I said, I was taking that other, I was taking the hydrating shampoo that I bought back, because I'm like, I don't need to just build up my hair with products. It needs to be clarified. I need to get this off. And what did I find at Target? Let me talk about it. Let me talk about it. I found, it's open. I found that Shea Moisture had a line for low porosity hair. And I was like, say what? I was like, no, I wasn't like that. I was like, I'm always dropping something in. Alright, you guys. So when I went in there and I was like, oh my gosh, they have a product that's specifically for low porosity hair, I was like, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it, because I was so excited about finding out these new things about my hair. When I saw the products, I was like, yes, I'm gonna buy it. And this was probably, sorry guys, I'm trying to get comfortable. And this was probably like 3 months ago. So maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I don't exactly remember. But when I tell you guys that, you can see how much I use more conditioner than shampoo. I don't know if you guys can really tell how much is gone. But you guys, these are life-changing. These have been amazing for my hair. The first time that I used the products, so let me tell you about the smell. It smells, okay, let me read it. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting excited. Okay, so this is called the Baobab. I don't know how to say that. But I'm gonna say Baobab and tea tree oils, low porosity, protein-free shampoo with spearmint extract and clary sage. So basically, this is a clarifying shampoo. It doesn't say it in the title, but it says it on the back. This is a clarifying shampoo. It has like that fresh, like minty smell. When you smell it out of here, it smells like kind of like medicine. But when you put it in your hair, it kind of has like that fresh, like minty, the spearmint and the tea tree, really like fresh. Like your scalp feels a little cool. Like it just feels good. I love that feeling. I don't know, you might hate it, but this is great. It doesn't take a lot of this to get a really good lather. It's a very soupy or like watery consistency, but it works great and I absolutely love it. And then the conditioner is has the same main ingredients, so I'm not going to reread them. But it is the texture of it is like, let me see. The texture of it is like medium thickness. It has some tackiness to it, but it's not super thick and it's not super watery either, which I like. And I think it has pretty good flip to it. I detangle my hair in the shower using this product. And I also want to talk about how I detangle my hair. So, like I told you guys, my hair has been lasting, my wash and goes have been lasting a lot longer. My hair has been softer and it has been more defined, the curls. Guys, my hair, with the way I would do my hair before, it would weigh down my hair so much that my curls were not bouncy and fluffy like this. Like, they weren't springy, they weren't spirally, they were just, they were like sad. They were sad because they had like football players on their backs. Like, my hair was like weighed down. And so now that I've been able to go longer with my wash and goes, I have been able to, well, now that I've been able to go longer with my wash and goes, my hair actually is a lot more tangled by the time that I have to detangle it. And I used to strictly finger detangle my hair, and I just don't have time for that anymore. So I already had this. This is not the Tangle Teaser. It needs to be cleaned out, but this is not the Tangle Teaser. This is actually, what, it's a Tangle Teaser, I guess, but it's by Goody, and I got it from Walgreens one time when I was like in a pinch and I just needed a brush. I was out of town, so I got this one, and I went back to it because I remembered how easy it was to tangle my hair and how my hair wasn't like, it wasn't pulling my hair out. And I also have a Denman brush, and I don't like to detangle my hair with this in the shower because I feel like I get more coming out of my head with this in the shower. I do use that brush for something else though. So I just detangle with this. It's very tender on my hair. It doesn't feel like I'm like pulling my hair out, and I don't get a lot of shedding or breakage or anything like that with this. So I love to detangle my hair with this. My hair will feel so soft with these products, but it doesn't feel like the type of soft like when you put a really slippery conditioner on your hair and your hair just feels like slippery and you're like, oh, it feels so soft. This makes your hair feel soft. There's a difference, I'm telling you. It's crazy. Alright, so another product that comes in that line is the low porosity leave-in detangler. And this product, which as you guys can see, I've used a whole lot of this product. I really like it. I haven't used it on its own. Actually, correction, I have used it on its own one time when I didn't have the other products, and I don't like it by itself. I use these two together. So the first thing that I do with my hair when it's wet out the shower, it's detangled, I wrap it up in a towel and kind of like, you know, lotion my body and kind of get dressed or whatever, and then I go in with this section by section, and then I follow it with this. And once my hair is detangled and it has the product in it, then I take my Denman brush and I use this to define the curls. I'm not detangling with this, my hair's already detangled. I just use it to define the curls. Like I said, I'll do a video on this for you guys because like I said, my curly hair routine is completely different. I'm completely transformed and life changed because of this new thing that I've been doing. And I've been through a lot of these, I will say, and this bottle has lasted me, like I said, maybe like 3 months, and I probably can get another good month or so out of this, so that's not too bad. But yes, so that's what I do with my hair. It's been completely different. Like I said, my hair doesn't feel dry. My hair feels very light to the touch. It feels very fluffy, and it just feels great. So after I put those products in my hair, I let it air dry, and my hair is like in these spirals from the brush. It kind of like falls in, it's very flat. And I know you guys have seen my hair flatter in some other videos that I did. You guys probably noticed. I know it was a get ready with me in the video where I announced when we revealed the pregnancy. That one, my hair was just flatter to my head, and that was as I was experimenting using these products and finding out what works best. And my hair, this is first day hair, so my hair is a lot fuller and bigger than it was in those videos as I've kind of figured out what to do with it, how my hair reacts best to what. So that's what I do with my hair. And then I started using this Curls Passion Fruit Curl Control Paste, and at first I was just using it on my edges when I was wearing my hair up, and then I had this thought, my hair in this area, sometimes when it's curly it just kind of like sticks out, and so I will put some of this, a little bit, rub it in my fingers and just go like this right here, and it kind of just tames and styles this part of my hair. And then also in the front of my hair, as you guys can see, these curls are very defined and they're not frizzy. That's because of this. I'll take a tiny bit on my finger and then just run some of these around my finger, and I would always have frizz problem right in the front, but that has really changed that for me. So I really love this stuff. I hate the smell of it. Ugh, I don't like that. I don't like how this smells, but I like how it works, so I'll still use it. I can deal with it. I think a lot of people actually really do like the smell of it, and it's just me, and maybe it's just me and my pregnant self that doesn't like it. But I honestly, I don't care how it smells, because I highly recommend this product. It doesn't leave my hair greasy, it doesn't leave it crunchy, it doesn't leave like a flaky residue. It just gives it like a natural hold that's not crunchy and that's not greasy. That's hard to find. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention is that Shea Moisture also has a line that's for high porosity hair, and I believe it's like red and blue. Don't quote me on that, but it has different colors, or it's dark blue. I think it's dark blue. Anyway, I'll insert some pictures of it so you can see it. The high porosity line does have a lot more products. The low porosity line only has 3, but the high porosity line has a lot more products. I believe it's 5 or 6, just because high porosity hair, in my opinion, is the most high maintenance, and it probably just needs all those things that they have. So definitely check that out too. And if you're not sure what you should get, definitely check out some more reviews here on YouTube of other people that have tried the high porosity line. But I'm sure it's just as good, but like I said, I can't really vouch for it because I've only tried the low porosity line, which, like I said, is amazing. So I just wanted to add that in there because I totally forgot to say it. I'm sitting here posing, taking shots, taking pictures, and I was like, oh yeah, what about the high porosity people? So check that out if you need to. So those are the things that I have been doing for my hair based on finding out about my porosity levels and figuring out about everything about my hair. Guys, I'm telling you guys, you gotta just do some research. If you guys want me to do a video breaking down this stuff even more, I'll be happy to do it. I'm sure I can get together more information and give you guys. If you didn't understand anything, let me know in the comments below, and I will try my best to answer any questions that you guys have. If you can't figure out, you know, what your hair type is, I can try to help you figure it out. I'm sure you guys can tell the difference in my hair right now from what it looked like before, and it's a pretty big difference. So I'm hoping that I'm not forgetting anything, but I just encourage you guys to find out more about your hair, because if you want your hair to be the best it can be, you gotta learn about what your hair is. Alright you guys, well that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Don't forget, I'll be updating my curly hair routine very, very soon. The next time I do my hair, I'll be updating it. So in the next week or so, I should be filming that for you guys, and I'm getting it ready. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As I said, did I just say that? Subscribe twice, in case you didn't hear it the first time. But yeah, you guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye. So this is the process of how I straighten my hair. I hope that you guys liked it and you guys enjoyed it. This is the finished product. As you guys can see, my hair is smooth and it's very, very movable. It's very bouncy. It's very silky. It's not stuck together. It's not stiff. All the things that I hate about straight hair sometimes when we don't like that. It's not puffy.